This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, PLDT, Creamline march into quarters with 1-1 records. UAAP Season 87, Miggy Bautista makes golden return for UP in men's epee. Tour of Luzon rides again. Local aces ready for international challenge. In Major League Baseball, Will Warren's strong start spoiled by sixth inning in Yankees' 3-2 loss to Guardians. In the first round of the NBA playoffs, Game 2, Luka Doncic leads the Lakers to a 1-1 tie with the T-Wolves. While the Pacers edge the Bucks 123-115 to take a 2-0 series lead. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 23rd of April. Now, here's your roundup. In volleyball, PLDT refused to go quietly, bouncing back after dropping the first two sets against Thailand's Nakhon Ratchasima and pushing the match to a fifth set thriller before falling short 24-26, 20-25, 25-20, 25-20, 9-15 in the ABC Women's Champions League at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. The high-speed hitters even held a slim 8-7 edge in the deciding set before the Thais shifted gears and powered through to clinch the win and secure the top seed in Pool D heading into the quarterfinals. Despite the loss, PLDT booked a spot in the next round thanks to their earlier sweep of Australia's Queensland Pirates 25-19, 25-12, 25-12. Next up for the Filipinas, a showdown against Kazakhstan's Zetsu VC. While Zetsu VC continued their dominant run, cruising past Al Nassr 25-10, 25-15, 25-11 to top Pool A undefeated. Their victory also paved the way for Creamline to advance to the quarterfinals thanks to a 1-1 record. The Cool Smashers secured their spot after a strong start against Al Nassr in the tournament opener. Moving on to collegiate sports, after 5 years away from UAAP fencing, Miggy Bautista made a resounding comeback for the University of the Philippines, capturing the school's first gold in this year's men's epee event at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum in Malate. The former Rookie of the Year from Season 82 went all the way this time, outdueling defending MVP Nicolay Felipe of the University of the East in a thrilling 15-14 final to claim the crown. Bautista fought his way through to the gold, redeeming himself in his final pool match against UE's Aurel Obzunar, then eliminating UST's Adam Putian 15-13 and UP teammate Dexter Ramos 15-9 in the knockout rounds. The Tour of Luzon, Great Revival, fires off this Thursday in Paway, Ilocos Norte, featuring over 1,000 kilometers across 8 stages of grueling roads and stunning views. 13 local teams will battle 4 international squads from Hong Kong, Malaysia, Taiwan, and South Korea in what promises to be one of the most stacked editions yet. Cycling stars Ronald Oranza and national champ Marcelo Felipe lead the Philippine contingent, looking to add their names to the list of legends who've conquered the tour. Felipe headlines the field for Victoria Sports, joined by standouts like Junrey Navarro, John Paul Morales, and Rosel Agapito of 7-Eleven Road Bike Philippines. The field of 17 teams also includes under-23 hopefuls from Tom and Tom's. The race opens with a 190.70-kilometer stage around Paway, followed by a team time trial to Vigan and stages leading through La Union, Clark, and Pangasinan. The tour is back, the stakes are high, and the road to glory starts now. In Major League Baseball, Will Warren shined with a strong bounce-back performance, but a messy sixth inning cost him as the Yankees lost to the Cleveland Guardians 3-2 at Progressive Field. After Ben Rice opened the game with a lead-off home run, the Yankees took a 2-0 lead thanks to a sacrifice fly by Jazz Chisholm Jr. in the 6th. However, Warren ran into trouble in the same inning, allowing the first two batters to reach base. The Guardians capitalized with 3 runs on a passed ball, a double, and an infield single, taking a 3-2 lead. Warren had been effective through 5 innings, allowing just 1 hit and striking out 5. His night ended with 82 pitches, lowering his ERA to 4.79. Mark Leiter Jr. relieved him but couldn't escape the damage. In the 8th, the Yankees threatened against reliever Hunter Gaddis but couldn't capitalize as he struck out 2 and forced a flyout to end the inning. Cleveland closer Cade Smith handled the 9th, and the Yankees' final 16 batters struggled, generating just 1 hit and leaving 7 on base. In the first round of the NBA playoffs, Game 2, Luka Doncic shined with 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists to help the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 94-85, tying their Western Conference first-round playoff series 1-1. LeBron James added 21 points, 11 rebounds. Austin Reeves contributed 16, and Rui Hachimura scored 11 as the Lakers bounced back from a 22-point loss in Game 1. Julius Randle led Minnesota with 27 points, and Anthony Edwards added 25, but the Timberwolves struggled, shooting just 38% and only 5 of 25 from 3. The Lakers took control early, leading 34-15 after the first quarter and pushed it to a 58-43 halftime lead. Minnesota closed the gap to 62-51 in the third, but the Lakers answered with a 9-0 run to extend the lead. Minnesota cut it to 86-77 with 6:27 left, but couldn't get closer. Meanwhile, the Indiana Pacers held off a late Milwaukee rally to win 123-115, taking a 2-0 lead in the Eastern Conference first-round series. Pascal Siakam led the way with 24 points and 11 rebounds, while Tyrese Halliburton added 21 points and 12 rebounds. Milwaukee cut the lead to 115-113 after Damian Lillard's three-pointer, but Siakam's tray and a late 3 from Andrew Nembhard sealed the win for Indiana. Nembhard finished with 17 points, Aaron Nesmith added 16, and Miles Turner contributed 15. Giannis Antetokounmpo posted 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists for Milwaukee, while Bobby Portis chipped in with 28 points and 12 rebounds off the bench. Lillard struggled in his return, scoring just 14 points on 4 of 13 shooting. Indiana started strong, leading 31-16 in the first and held a 68-60 advantage at halftime. The series moves to Milwaukee for Game 3 on Friday. And here are the current playoffs rankings. Now here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Is cheese rolling a sport? While cheese rolling might not be a sport in the traditional sense like football or tennis, it is considered a sporting event, especially in the UK where it's taken quite seriously. Held annually on Cooper's Hill in Gloucestershire, England, the event involves chasing a large wheel of cheese down a steep hill. It's quirky, but it is an organized sport with participants competing for a prize. So, next time you hear someone say, "Let's go cheese roll," you know it's an event where sport meets cultural tradition. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Australian F1 ace Oscar Piastri isn't mincing words as the 2025 season heats up, even after bagging 3 wins in the first 5 races. The McLaren star has a sharp message for his team: stay sharp or fall behind. McLaren currently sits comfortably at the top of the constructors' standings, 77 points clear of Mercedes, but Piastri isn't letting that lead fool anyone. He says that while they may be ahead for now, other teams are closing the gap fast. The 24-year-old recently raced to a commanding victory in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix finishing ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen and looking untouchable in the final stretch. But despite that dominance, Piastri made it clear.
I think our car was still quicker. I think clearly we've got some work to do. I think we still have an advantage.
As the team gears up for the next challenge in Miami, the message is loud and clear from their star driver. Stay hungry, stay focused, or get caught. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 23rd of April. Up next, we have Filipina driving sensation Bianca Bustamante to talk about her preparation for her GB3 debut. Catch that when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. All right, racing fans, get ready to mark your calendars and buckle up because Philippine racing sensation Bianca Bustamante is revving up to take one of the biggest leaps of her young career. Here's Erica Christensen Lee with this report.
The historic Silverstone Grand Prix circuit becomes the proving ground for 20-year-old Bianca Bustamante, who's stepping into the fast lane literally as she makes her highly anticipated debut in the GB3 Championship, and we got to chat with the driving ace via Zoom to know what's up her racing sleeve. Now, this won't be your typical debut. Bianca will be climbing into the cockpit of the all-new Tatis MSB GB3 025 faster, fiercer, and more technically demanding than anything she's driven before. We're talking 35% more downforce, a 30-horsepower boost, DRS for the first time, and wider tires for more grip on those legendary corners at Silverstone.
First and foremost, what are the biggest technical and mental adjustments that you've had to make for GB3 compared to your previous races?
I think it's the fact that it is a heavier, faster car with more downforce. Just to put like a number to that, huge difference. It is about 20 seconds faster to 15 seconds faster than an F4 car in certain circuits. So that means that I'm driving down the straights faster, I'm cornering faster. So I think it means that it is more physically demanding and physically taxing, which is obviously not an easy thing to adapt to. It's racing one of the sports where no matter how hard you train and how much you work out, the best way to get fit for racing is to drive the car. Even though you train in the gym every single day, but you don't run, you still can't improve your running capabilities. And racing is very similar to that. The only way to improve is to keep on driving. So I think as we go on to the season, we will just progressively improve and get better. And I think the biggest thing that I really had to adapt to was, the speed first and foremost. And second of all, I think is the mental stability that I needed, because I needed to be composed in the car even when I was struggling, or even when I am physically tired or physically exhausted.
Now let's be clear, this isn't just another race. For Bustamante, it's the start of a brand new chapter. She's coming off an intense prep program with Elite Motorsport, including on-track testing at circuits like Spa and Silverstone, and grueling training sessions in France at the 321 Perform facility.
So we would start off our mornings with a lot of mental training, peripheral vision, reaction time, the adaptability and capability to feed information and to gather information as quick as possible, and also how to remain calm in the car even when you're dealing with stress. So our mornings normally consist of that, and then we've got the afternoons, which is normally heavy lifting for muscle gain, and we do core strength, we do our neck training, we've got our forearm training, which is very important for grip strength. And then late in the afternoon, we'd normally do some sort of exercise that helps us be a better athlete. by doing other sports. For example, it would be trail running or doing biathlon or doing free diving. So yeah, being an athlete in motorsport doesn't mean that you constantly have to be driving as well. It also means that you have to learn other skill sets from different sports. So yeah, that's kind of like what my normal training day looks like.
Enough, and it's Bustamante who gets the job done. Meanwhile,
Bianca is also stepping into a mixed gender grid for the first time since her karting days. 30 of the best up and
Specific learning that I probably will always carry with me forward is since at a young age, because of racing, I've always needed to be a bit more mature. I need to be a bit more accountable, a bit more reliable. So I think, being in motorsport and being around such incredible professionals, in engineering, in racing, in physio, in medical, in water, whatnot, it is honestly incredible to learn from them. Speaking of, mid to long-term goals, I think the higher up I finish in championship, the better shot I get into signing with better teams. But obviously, that is kind of just like, it's not a concrete structure that you have to finish at a certain place. The goal for me is to finish within the top 10, top 5 in the championship this year and scoring points regularly. And obviously, then we will find out where is best fit for me, if I should do another year in GB3 or whether I should move up to F3, depending on how the season goes. So I think it's more of like a performance structure rather than it is finishing positions or results based. The goal for me is to finish within the top 10, top 5 in the championship this year and scoring points regularly. And obviously, then we will find out where is best fit for me, if I should do another year in GB3 or whether I should move up to F3, depending on how the season goes.
The GB3 Championship kicks off on April 26 and 27. 3 races, 1 track, and a whole lot of potential waiting to be unleashed.
Up next, it's NBA trade season and things are about to get wild. So we're breaking down who might be packing for a new city and who is staying put. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Let's say it out loud just so we can hear how weird it sounds. Yeah, subukan natin. Zion Williamson in Portland and Kevin Durant in a Houston Rockets jersey. This is the kind of weirdness and NBA chaos I live for. So let's start with this guy, Zion Williamson, because this has all the makings of a what-if chapter in a future Anton's book of basketball. What if Zion had stayed healthy? What if he was actually the guy in New Orleans 5 years in and somehow this feels like the Pelicans are running out of time and patience? Now David Griffin's gone. In comes a no-nonsense guy, Joe Dumars. He's built winners before, but not one to waste time tiptoeing around projects. Zion has become basketball's version of a sports car that spends more time inside the garage than on the road. Now, when he's out there, kitang-kita naman, he's a force of nature, a freight train with bounce. But he played less than 35 games in 3 of his 5 seasons. And now, his contract is basically a non-guaranteed max, which sounds like a Craigslist red flag. So why Portland? Think about it. They've got Scoot Henderson, a ton of picks, and a post-Dame vacuum that needs a star. The Blazers are one of those weirdly perfect Zion spots. Young core, low expectations, and a fan base that just wants to believe again. It's a low-risk, high-ceiling roll of the dice. And if it doesn't work, his contract is structured so you can get out of it. This is like Portland saying, let's buy stock in a startup that's tanked the last 2 quarters, but has that one genius founder who might still build a rocket. Now, Let's move on to Mr. Kevin Durant. This one hurts because KD in Phoenix should have been special. But this Suns team turned into one of those big budget Netflix shows. You get excited, the cast is loaded, but then halfway through season 1, you're like, wait, why do none of these characters have chemistry? Phoenix, they flamed out. Again, Beal, Booker, Durant, never clicked. And now they've got a coaching carousel, a bloated payroll, and Durant is on an expiring deal. It feels inevitable. Enter Houston. This is the NBA's version of The Bachelor at midseason. The Rockets are flush with young assets. You've got Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, picks out the wazoo. They just missed the playoffs. But you can see it, they're one legit vet away from being scary. Now add KD to a locker room with Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith, and Jalen Green. And that team suddenly goes from League Pass curiosity to a top playoff team and a problem overnight. KD may not be the best player on a title team anymore, but as your number 2 or 3, that's terrifying. And for Houston, who's desperate to turn the corner, it's like buying a cheat code. So the wild part, this might just be the beginning. If KD and Zion are on the table, how long until someone picks up the phone for Giannis? I don't know where we're headed, but it feels like this summer could be the most unpredictable NBA offseason since 2019. And of course, I, as always, am here for it. So stay ahead of the game as the battle for the playoffs heats up with high-stakes games. And here is your odds breakdown for tomorrow's matchups. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a 3-time world heavyweight champion and Olympic gold medalist Muhammad Ali, he said, "Don't count the days, make the days count." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.